Okay, here we go. Now we're at Shop Job 1501, and what we're doing is extending the functionality that we had in 1402. We're adding a jog uh, selector switch in here. We're also kind of jumping back to 1302 with using a selector switch for the direction change as well. So we're going to use 1402 as our starting point, and the first thing we want to do is we want to save this off as 1501. Okay. And I want to change this here to 1501. Okay. And then we need to bring this up to the selector switch functionality. So we're not going to have these two push buttons anymore. We're just going to have the one that's going to be the start push button. So the first thing I want to do is I want to clear out these descriptions and symbols because we're going to reuse those from another for the three position selector switch. So this is going to go back to being a start push button, and this is just going to be start motor. It's not going to determine direction. We're going to do that with another component. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add back in our selector switch here. And so this will be the I:0.0/1. That's going to be my A position of my two position selector switch. And this is why we cleared out those from the other ones, because we want FWD to represent that. Now this is down here is going to be my start push button again, so I'm just going to change that bit to 5. And then I'm going to put focus on that ending rung branch and put my other selector switch here, which is I:0.0/2. And this is going to be my reverse selection, and this will be REV. Okay. All right, so now we're back up to having the two position selector switch, or three position selector switch selecting our direction. And now we need to add in the two position selector switch as our jog switch. And remember, from manual motor controls, where did we place that? We place that in the holding rung. So my holding rung down here is where we want to enable and disable this holding circuit to switch from a jog functionality to a run functionality. And if that two position selector switch is in the closed position, that's going to be run functionality. So that's why I selected and examine if closed. And this is going to be I:0.0/ not O's, :0.0/3. So A is closed, which means run. B is open, which means jog. So that's why we have the examine if closed there. And of course, we're going to need it down here as well. So it's going to be I:0.0/3. So we'll have that functionality in both the holding rungs for forward and for reverse. Okay, so that gives us all the functionality that we need in the command lines. Okay, let's examine the rest of the program to see what else we might need to update. Okay, so if our forward and reverse lights are still implemented properly, and they are, that code won't change. Okay, here for direction change, if you notice, we have kind of an empty blank here because we were using the push buttons to say what the selections were. Now we have a selector switch. Okay, so if our last direction was forward and we're selecting reverse, that's my bit 2 input. Okay, if we select reverse, that's my definition of a direction change. And if my last direction was reverse and we select forward, that is my other definition for a direction change. So we'd need to change those two items as well. And that should be all that we have to change between the two jobs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download this. Okay, so let's look and see what's happening inside the program before I push any buttons. So we are not limiting on direction change. motor's not running and our timer is done. So I can push the start button. Now, looking at this program, you should be able to tell which direction, if I push the start button, it would go in. And in this case, if I push the start button, I have my reverse selected, and we can see up here, if it's down, it's reverse, if it's up, it's forward, that we're going to run in reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and hit reverse here. Oop, I've got my jog on. Hit this, okay. So we went into reverse, okay, and I had my jog selector switch in the B position. I need to move it to A for us to be able to run. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And now I'm going to select our jog. And you're going to see here, if I push my start motor, I have a jog functionality now. And it's because right here, we have disabled that holding circuit with our two-position selector switch. All right, so now I'm going to change and go to the other direction. Say I want to run. I'm waiting for my timer to be done, so I have to see that I have logical continuity there. I'm going to go ahead and hit my start button right here. And you see that I can start and stop in the same direction a bunch of times. Okay, I'm going to now select jog. So imagine if we didn't have that change direction functionality. Every time you hit jog and let go, you'd have to wait 8 seconds to hit jog again. So that's why it's very important for us to understand that functionality of what we're doing there. Okay. So now I am going to put this back to run. And I'm going to check our direction change to make sure that it will limit me for that start switch. So there's a couple ways I can stop the motor. One is hitting the e-stop, and the other one's hitting the stop button. The other one is changing the direction, because I have to change it from forward to reverse here. And in doing so, I'm going to break my hold on my run forward bit. And so I'm going to flip this over to reverse, and I'm going to hit start really quick, and you're going to see that I should get that change in direction yellow light and limit me from being able to go in reverse. And so there is my change of direction, and it's based on the switch, so I didn't even have to hit start in that case because it was based on the switch selection, and that gave me limited functionality until that start switch re-engages, and then I can go in reverse all I want until I try to go in the opposite direction. Then it tells me, hey, you've got to wait. Okay, so that is how to implement Shop Job 1501. I hope that helps, and we'll see you in the next video.